Hey guys, how you doing? So I'm up here. I want to show you a quick run through of the exercises that we're going to use for tomorrow's demo, and again try to give you a quick rundown, comprehensive overview of just kind of how we did it last time and how it seemed to work really well, and show all the features of the unit. So first thing, again, we're ideally going to have everything set up, ahead of time. Give yourself 10-15 minutes. Come in, set up, get your length adjustments off of a regular frame. Again, we want the handle height to be maybe a foot off the ground, but you might have it a little lower, you might have it a little higher, but ideally we got about a foot here. We'll have the jammer loop and we'll have a donut. And so have everything set up, have everybody come in. The first thing I like to have people do is just to get a feel for the whole product. You can either have them go through the mobilizers, or you could have them do a quick clip down, up and down. So they're not going to have to mess with the buckle. Just take the carabiner here, clip it in the jammer loop, let them see how that's secure. Have them clip it into the ring, have them unclip from the ring, have them unclip from the jammer loop, and then also make one or two comments about how the elastic bands here, they're not really to be used for anything structurally. So you want to make sure that we're not clipping in between these bands. And so if this is done, that can slip down and cause a problem. So we want to make sure that those are just kind of there in place. They're not being used for clipping, and we've gone through the process here of clipping the handles up and down, so the whole class knows when we're making an adjustment, that's all they have to do. They won't have to do any buckle adjustments for this class. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing, again, going into kind of some of the mobilizers, some of our posterior, anterior warm-ups. I'm going to go ahead and clip up into the jammer loop real quick here. Again, in a lot of these, we're just bringing the body forward, coming in, going into some stretches, and just getting to feel out the handles. I want to be able to, feel how I can lean into them, how I can stretch into them, and just using body positioning and stance, I can change up a lot. It's a great stretch for me right now. And so, let people play around with this. Let them come in, make some suggestions, chest flies, eyes wise, tees, all the kind of common ones, but also, add in some rotation. You can unload a handle here. You don't have to worry about keeping unilateral pressure. And so, allow yourself to kind of mess around with things. Reach around in different patterns, reach around with your foot, rotate through at the hips, and have some fun with those anterior. Also, posterior, and here I'll show you how quick we can adjust them up into the jammer loop for some of these. And so again, I'm going to come back here and make sure. This is something good to see too. If you ever do clip your webbing in the gate here, the carabiner gate, that's not a problem. Actually in this situation, you can see on the handle that this carabiner still has a 7 kilonewton rating when the gate is open, which is still plenty for our purposes. But for safety purposes, we want to make sure the gate's closed and that the only webbing in this buckle is, in the carabiner, is the actual loops that we're designed to be. So something happened to me right there. Took an opportunity to kind of show you that. But again, for the posterior stretches, I'm just going to come through here, hang back. I might, rotate back through, rotate the hips, just kind of having some fun with it. I want to get some stretches. I want to stretch through my lats. I want to stretch through my obliques, and I want to get some stretches through my hamstrings and my legs. Get moved around a little bit, hold some poses, moving dynamically in and out will kind of start to get the heart rate up, and it's going to get them really familiar with how to kind of use these handles and how we can offload and unload, which is something that we'll kind of get into real quickly here. So again, the whole class is now clipped. Everybody is warmed up and stretched out a little bit with some mobilizers, facing forward, facing backwards. HRT exercises that we talked about. We have the partner squat battle, and all these are just going to require removal of just the swoop handles. So we're just going to remove swoop handles, partner up with the person to the left or the right of you. I don't have somebody to the left or right of me, so we're going to pretend. But for the partner squats, it's going to be, where I'm holding on to the handle here, I'm squatting down, and I might be alternating, taking turns with my partner. We might be squatting together, so at the same time we're both squatting down, holding on with either two hands or one hand. You have that option with the swoop handle. So with the partner squat battle, you can also, we can rotate, have a step back, different squats on different ability levels. After this, we have the core battle. The core battle for me is just going to have, again, partners standing pretty much side by side with this. Side by side with just a little bit of spacing. We're going to hold the handles out in front. The whole idea is that we want to keep the handles centered in front of our bodies. So I like to tell people, look down. You want to have parallel feet facing straight ahead. If you drew a straight line, it wouldn't intersect. So parallel feet straight ahead, hips, chest, everything's facing straight ahead, eyes facing straight ahead, and my partner's doing the same. Then we'll extend out, so we'll have the handles extended out through here. And then when you say begin, we're going to get into a battle where I'm going to give pressure, they're going to give pressure, and what we're trying to do here is cause that rotation on the body these core muscles will respond to and fire up like never before. And so the idea is to make these guys kind of do their job, anti-rotate too quickly. And so the core battle is a great way to fire them up in like a little bit of a dynamic kind of isometric style environment. So we're going to be moving through here trying to stabilize, but at the same time we're going to be using a lot of muscles throughout our entire body. So core battle, plank adduction. Again, it's another battling style exercise. Partner's right next to you. Handles are going to go on the ground. We're going to go down into a push-up position. And then from here, I'm going to widen my stance because I'm going to be in a kind of a tripod plank position. So I'm going to widen my stance just a little bit here. And then from here, I'm going to go on to one hand. This hand's going to be up with the handle. And me and my partner are going to be working this adduction, abduction in the shoulder. So I'm going to be trying to bring his arm in, and he might be trying to pull my arm out this way. And we're not really trying to pull each other over. We're not trying to hurt each other. We're just trying to kind of get the arms warmed up, get these muscles warmed up, work on our, entire shoulder musculature. So again, play around with the shoulder adduction, plank position. Once you've done maybe 30 seconds or so, you can go ahead and spin around in positions. And then that way you can kind of work the other arm there. And so that's going to be our HRT exercises. After that, instruct them to just unclip the handles, and then from here, clip back in to my main line. I like to recommend, again, take this opportunity to say, I always like to just keep my handle locked into the main line. Whether I'm clipping into the jammer loop or I'm clipped up into my ring, I like to feel that, no matter what, I have this main line connection as well. I recommend it, so if you're watching this and you think that's a good idea, try to follow it. You don't need to unclip it. You can fit a lot of loops in this carabiner. And again, every place I have a connection here is going to give me a nice secure workout point. So let's go ahead and look at it. It says right here, reattach swoop, rest. So now the class might need water break. Make sure everybody's hydrated. Super important anytime we're exercising. If anybody's not feeling great at this time, this might be a chance for them to get a bite to eat, have a piece of fruit, maybe take a step aside and just get a breather. So the exercises will get harder and a little more complex. So if people in the class are struggling with this, everything has a regression, and so you might have to pull some people back a little bit. You might have to, somebody who thinks that they're ready for a multi-compound movement might not be. But again, let people have fun with it. The idea is that everybody's at their own pace, and everybody's at their own difficulty level. And so we'll check that out here with the 3-point press. So on a 3-point press, I'm going to go ahead and go with a main line loop. Anything where I'm pushing, anything where I'm standing away and I'm pressing away, generally main line's good for that. It gives me a good angle out from my anchor, and as I take the handles and I kind of walk myself out here, I have a good body position. If I was in the jammer loop, it'd probably work for this too. I'd just be a little bit further up this way. I wouldn't be able to kind of have as much resistance, so I'm going to add a little resistance by being out here in the main line. 3-point press, again, it's a pressing exercise. We're going to look at starting off with basic pressing movements, have the whole class get set up, find their foot position. First few reps, I'm just kind of figuring out, maybe I'm going to go split stance for this. And so from here, what we're looking at is 3 points, and so this was going to be one of our points here. So we have the kind of the home position. From here, we're going to reach out to the side. We're going to reach up, and then we're going to reach back down. And then we'll come back to home. And then again, we can flip it over here. So we'll reach up, we can reach out to the side, and we can reach down. And so what I'm doing is I'm really dominating the exercise on that traditional pressed arm. The other arm is performing the fly, can't do as much of the resistance load, and so it's helping me to unilaterally kind of set up my body on one side over the other. So from a regular push-up stance, and again, I might do a few of my own. If the class starts to get it, there can be some synchronization to where, we can all reach up together, and we can all reach out together, and then we can all reach back down, and then we can reverse that. Come through here, reach up, extend, reach out, and then reach down. And so that's our 3-point press. And so if I need to regress it, I might take somebody here. I might just have them in chest press mode. Maybe I'll take them in a elbow tuck, elbow wide kind of transition instead of adding the reach. The overhead reach is difficult. The outside reach is difficult. They're all kind of difficult. But if you're familiar with the regular chest press, or if you change your base of support, it changes the game completely. So going out to this wider stance here, now reaching out through here. Again, my resistance is increased. Now my resistance is decreased. So it gives me a huge advantage on working on some of these mobility-based exercises. So play around with this one. Have everybody do a certain amount of reps. Maybe try to coordinate an all-together kind of atmosphere, or maybe let everybody kind of free play with it. Just trying to remind them on the movements. Up, out, down, and then switch. And you can add in the regular chest press anytime you want to kind of balance things out. And again, with high elbows, medium elbows, high and low, in the middle, wherever you're comfortable, wherever your client's comfortable. Everybody's going to be different. I see a lot of people do push-ups. I rarely see somebody ever do the same push-up than the guy before him. So, it gives us a great opportunity with the unit here. So, next up, what we're going to do is look at single swoop offset squat. And so, for that, just because of space, I'm going to go ahead and put this up into the jammer loop. Step back here, single swoop offset squat, and here I can even step off to the side just to hopefully have a little more space on the screen. Basically, this is just our squat row. Neat thing about this is we're going to swoop the handle. Nice thing about unit handles, again, is we can catch them, we can swoop it, we can grab it easy. I'm going to step back, and I'm going to come up, and I'm just kind of doing a quick switch. This is getting the team comfortable with grabbing the handle, letting go, working a little bit of hand-eye coordination. Nobody should be losing the handle. If they do, kind of gives you an idea to keep an eye on that individual. But, just step back, squat, swoop it up. All my squats are different. I never squat the same. So I'm just getting a feel for how I can extend, how I can use the handle, and how we can swoop it up and alternate sides. So we're unilaterally loading the body. That's how we do it in our sports. So that's how we should do it when we train. So we've looked at that exercise. So the single swoop offset squat was how I wrote it down. Next after this, we just have a plank. Our plank with knee ins, and our plank's a little different depending on what you've done in the past. Again, with our design, we can get here in between the handles, and so that's what I'm going to do. So if somebody's having trouble with that, they can't get down into that plank position, have them come into the progressive plank, have them take some steps down, have them find that area where the core just kind of tightens, and just have them hold it there. That's their plank. Some people are going to be all the way down here. Some people, they might just be right here, and right here with the knee tug, it's still pretty difficult. So, there's opportunities for everybody. For this exercise, and hopefully for this class, we'll come all the way down, handle plank position. So now we're in a little bit of a difficult position here, and then we'll do knee tucks. So bringing one knee in, maybe doing alternating knees here. Maybe next up I want to do going across my body. So reach over, stabilizing through. If you see people out here, remind them they got to bring those armpits together. They got to bring their arms up against their side. If you see people down here, you got to remind them, stick that butt up in the air. What feels like your butt up in the air is actually really flat. So keep the butt up high, do a couple knee tucks, and then when they're done, they can kneel down, or you can just walk it up. So it's going to be our plank exercise. So sorry about my shirt getting messed up here, but I got a microphone and stuff underneath, keeps catching on. So big thanks to New Moves in Bangkok, Rob and the guys. You guys are awesome. Love getting the ideas from you guys. Hope you guys get some ideas from this, because I know you'll see it. So incline 5-point row. 5-point row, we're going to go rowing exercises. I'm hanging back, so for space, jammer loop it, get it clipped up, 5-point row, and hopefully I'm in space here in the camera. And so I'll come off to the side just a little bit. Let this guy pass. Get a muffler, buddy. All right, so 5-point row, I'm coming through here. I have my regular row, incline row. Take my steps back, you know, again, stance is up to me. But pull through here. 5-point row out of here is gonna give you a, so you're gonna have an outside row here. So again, I'm dominating on one side, just like I did on the chest press. I'm gonna dominate one arm, and I'm gonna do 5 reps on the one side, and then I'm gonna alternate. So my right arm is gonna be doing the traditional row. It's actually gonna kind of do maybe a tucked grip, the stronger of the rows. So I'm gonna tuck in this side here, and then from here I'm gonna extend out. I'm gonna extend up. I'm gonna extend down, and then I'm gonna extend across and over and under this strap. I'm sorry, I said over. This is across and over. And so what I want to do here, and here I'll show on this side, is I'm pulling in with this arm. I'm completely loading this left arm here, pulling on the handle. As I come through here, I push through, and then I engage this side. So my forward momentum is kind of tipping forward, but I'm driving my resistance, I'm driving my energy through the handle this way to keep me upright. And then I just reverse and I come back down into here. As I go over, I do the same thing. I'm pulling through here, you know, and I can keep as much slack on this as I want. I can keep it tight, but I'm gonna come through here, drive over, and then again, at one point, I kind of do a shift of load. I put all my load on this, and then all of a sudden I drop the resistance back into this handle to even it out. So I'm going over and under, I'm going under, that's over, there we go, and then under. And the other rows are, you know, just with reaching up high, reaching out to the side, and reaching down below. And your vertical reach can go, you know, straight up if you like that too. So I'm gonna make a little adjustment here. Trying to do all this in one take. There we go. With the audio, works out pretty good. So we just went through the incline 5-point row. Now we'll look at stability reverse lunge. So with the what do we have? Suspended reverse lunge. There will be a stability reverse lunge because it's going to be pretty unstable. We'll be on one foot. We'll be using just the main loop here. We're not going to have to use the ninja strap. Just going to use our main loop. I'm going to move my handle off to the side. Don't need to remove my handle for this. And what we'll do here is just set it up to where I'm going to drop my foot down. I'm going to use the other strap, the other handle that comes with the kit. I'm going to have that for my support strap. And so this way, as I jump out forward, as I move around through the exercise, if I get a little shaky, if I get a little wobbly, if I need to lean into something, if I need some help, I got it here with the other strap. So I'm gonna bring myself out forward, find my position. I want a body position so that when I go backwards, my front knee, and really my whole body, just gets to kind of float on back. Here, let me show you. If I'm too far forward, I kind of get a really gnarly pull. It's great through the hamstring, but if I'm starting off, I might want to be a little more centered. Here, if I'm too far backwards, I'm going to put a really, you know, hard load on the knee and on my ankle complex. And for a lot of people, you know, that can be a little bit too much for them starting off. Once you get older, once you're more into your sports and you're more conditioned, your knee's going to go in all kinds of directions. But for now, to get the range that we're looking for, we want to have it a little bit forward. We want to have it to where I can kind of slide down into position. And you can see I'm using this handle to support myself. I can pass it around my body. I can reach off to one side, reach overhead, pass it around, reach over here. And the whole time I'm doing this, so I'm engaging my core, I'm engaging my knee, ankle, hip, shoulders. And this is a total body exercise that has me in a really interesting position. So yeah, when I get into my life and I'm out there doing what I do, this position or something like it, it's gonna come really natural to me. So again, I'm moving the handle out of the way, drop my foot in here, take a step forward, reverse lunge with stability move. Might be two hands going over, I don't know. It's whatever you wanna do. Every time you do a rep, do a new move. New moves. There we go, maybe bring the knee in. So that's our reverse stability, reverse lunge with stability move. Okay, next up, one of my favorites, child swing. Again, this is dependent on the frame you're using. Anything you're working out off should be able to handle some serious weight. So go ahead and clip up into a donut ring. And as you can see, I'm getting, just from doing this demonstration, getting a little winded. Your class is going to be getting a good workout, depending on how long, how many reps you want to do. This could be pretty, difficult for some. So make sure you're working in those breaks, working some water breaks. Give your class a good feeling on how everybody's doing, and make sure everybody's, getting to breathe when they're doing the exercises, hydrating, and when they're doing the child swing, make sure they're smiling, because it's fun. Child swing, I'm just going to step back. I'm hooked up to wherever my anchor point would be. From here, you instruct them to basically jump off the ground, swing through the arc while holding yourself up in kind of a child's hold pose. And when they come back to the side that they, their home position, they put their feet back down, and that's one rep. So I come through here, and then stop. So, okay. So I'm not going to do too many of those here because you guys see what I'm working out on. It's not necessarily recommended for that. Probably do it all day, but I still have a few more exercises to show you. So that's our child swing, 10, 20, 30 of those. Everybody should have a good time. They're difficult. If somebody can't do those, one thing you can have them do, depending on handle height, is just have them jump and hang. So jumping and hanging and just getting into that position, that's a super strength builder. So have people do that, have them build up the strength so they're able to do a complete child swing. If you can't do that child swing exercise, you get some work to do. I mean, that's a basic movement that any kid I know can do. So if you're an adult and you can't pull that off, it's time to get swinging. Next up, plank with a row. This is one of my faves. It definitely shows off some cool features of the unit. So we're going from the donut ring back down to the main line. I'm so stoked on this thing. Dropping it down like this, unclip, here we are, set up. I'm gonna go down into my plank position. What's neat is what we'll do in this exercise from the plank position is we're actually going to a side plank position. So we're gonna literally offload a strap, load it with our body weight, and I'll show you how we can regress it. And we're gonna go into that side plank. It's gonna be great for the core, it's great for the whole body, it's great for the mind, because it takes a lot of effort to be from this position to where you're really stabilized. Whether my feet are together, that's a little more difficult. See? But now I'll bring my feet apart. I have a little bit of a better opportunity here. And so what we're gonna do is instruct everybody to have their feet a little bit further apart than the normal plank position. If you see them in this position, they better be a super athlete. If not, they're gonna have some trouble. So have them go up this way, come through here. So all I'm doing is just rotating on my hips. I'm dropping this hip down. I'm rolling onto this side. And if I want to come up and grab the strap, I can do that. I hold through here, lower back down. Same thing. Drop this hip, this knee slightly bent. I rotate up, holding through my core here. Come back down into the handle. If they're really awesome, have them do a push-up or something. Sky's the limit. So I'm doing knee tuck, side plank. But the offloading ability is what we're going for. Again, we're going for that dominant load two hands, dominant load right side, dominant left side, balancing back and forth between those. That's going to be good for your performance. If I need to regress that, again, it's a workout. Take my client down here to kind of the incline position, and I'm doing the same thing. I might just pull them off a handle. You see where the body position led to. Knee dropped, hip dropped. Come through, and I'm rotating. And I might have somebody just in here, just doing a few of these. Other students might be down doing the full extension. Some students might be doing the, push-up. So that's our plank with row. One more exercise, good workout. I'm happy to be on the last one here. Squat handle pass, pretty fun exercise. It's gonna kind of be boring for me. I don't have a partner to do it with. So in the class, ideally, we can have a partner. If we don't have a partner, I guess it's not boring. It's just not as interactive. So I'm gonna clip up here. I like to do a triple clip, triple connection. Have everybody connected. I can come back through here. Actually, I'm sorry. I do want to have them right here because you're gonna have a partner. The idea is that you have a partner across from you. we're gonna come back through this position here. I'm gonna squat down. Just kind of maintain, hey, whatever squat I want. I want to do an offset squat, that's fine. Maybe I want to hold a lunge, that's cool. But the idea is I'm going to be in a squat position. I'm going to be holding on with the handles. I'm going to pass them to my partner. And then the idea is that the partner catches them. So now I'm sitting here all by myself, just holding this squat. You know, oh, something like that happens. Then maybe you do some jumping jacks or something, I don't know. But, the idea would be back through here, swing them through, and then catch them. And then, and you can hold on to them. If you're the partner, my partner's squatting there and I just got the handles, maybe, they were kicking my butt earlier on HRT, maybe I'll hold on to these for a little longer. Make them kind of hold that squat for a little longer. But the handles make all the difference. And so it's a lot of fun passing them back and forth with a partner. Without a partner, it's fun. You kind of get to see what you can do and, with somebody there. So, those are our 10 kind of main points on the workout. The exercises could flow in a way to where you could repeat that whole cycle, or you could have a learning kind of minute followed by a training minute, and you have some options there. Some of these exercises, even with a seasoned suspension user, this is going to be new for them. They're not going to maybe pick it up as easy as it seems in a demonstration. There's a lot of new coordination, there's a lot of new ways to use the body. The unilateral loading is new for a lot of people, and so take your time, be patient. Everybody's got a regression or a progression, and so make sure that they're on the right step for where they are in their training, and make it fun. That's why we had some of the exercises are in there the way they are. It's designed to get smiles out of the class. If the class isn't smiling and having a good time, then we need to relook at what we're doing, because that's our main focus. We want them having a good time. We want them coming back, we want them getting in shape, but we want them to understand that exercise is a good thing. It's good for the body, it's good for the mind, it's good for the soul, and it's good for smiles. So I'm smiling, hope you're smiling, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks.